Hello guys, how are you? David the Franco here from davidthefranco.com. It is once again time for another Ask Me Anything video. It's been quite a while since I've done one, and this time I took your questions from facebook.com/davidthefranco. If you are not already following me, that link is right below. Thank you in advance. Okay, so today's video we have 11, good job, 11 questions to get through, so let's get started right now. Question number 1 comes from Claire Dixon, and Claire says, are you planning to get the new iPhone when it's released in September? Smiley face. Seriously, Claire, great question. But first of all, I gotta say, don't get excited about September because we don't have any concrete details on the next iPhone. In this case, the iPhone 6s. But chances are very good it's gonna come out towards the end of September / early October. And with that said, yes, I am definitely getting it. I'm getting the iPhone 6s, not the iPhone 6s Plus. As much as I love Apple, I'm not afraid to admit when I don't like one of their products, and that's the iPhone 6 Plus. I'm just not a fan. It's too big, it's too bulky. I'm simply not a big fan of it. However, I am excited to get the iPhone 6s, which is significantly smaller than the 6 Plus, but it's also significantly larger than my current iPhone 5s. So, no matter how you look at this scenario, I'm still getting quite a big upgrade, and that is why I'm excited. So Claire, great question. And the second question, which is also iPhone related, comes from Jonathan Caudle T. And Jonathan says, what do you think about the rumored iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, and do you think its features, such as Force Touch, will be a worthy upgrade from the current iPhone 6 and 6 Plus? First of all, it's impossible to tell whether the 6s will be worth upgrading to from the iPhone 6. Because, again, we don't have any concrete official details. But with that said, it is always important to keep this in mind. When going from any of the iPhone lines from year to year, it's not always a substantial upgrade. For instance, the 5 to 5S wasn't huge. The 4 to 4S wasn't huge. The 3G to 3GS, I gotta say, that was a pretty big upgrade, mainly because of its camera. Well, the 4S was kind of substantial too because of Siri, and the 5S had a better camera. And I think the 6S will be substantial because of Force Touch. I mean, I love Force Touch on my Apple Watch, and I love Force Click on my MacBook Pro. So to have that kind of functionality on my iPhone, that in itself, in my eyes, is a strong selling point. So for someone like myself, coming from the iPhone 5S, upgrading is a no-brainer. I'm getting a much better camera. I'm most likely getting Force Touch functionality. I'm getting much better specs, a larger screen, just overall a much better phone. So that's great. And that's honestly all I have to say about the iPhone 6s for now, because the keynote has yet to happen. Brad Caldwell has question number 3, and Brad says, what are your thoughts on Windows 10? This is a great question, Brad. I'm primarily a Mac user, a very proud one at that, but I'm not afraid to admit this. Windows 10, it's pretty damn nice, and it's probably Microsoft's best attempt at Windows in years. Now, I understand a lot of people love Windows 7. Then there's that small portion of people who love Windows 8. Now, keep in mind, I don't dislike Windows 8, but it still baffles me to this day why Microsoft went that route. Why would they force desktop users to use an interface that in theory was built originally for the use of touchscreens? I don't get it. That is the primary difference between Apple and Microsoft. One company thinks clearly, the other company does not. I'm not looking for hate, I just don't get it. You'd think Microsoft would learn their lesson coming from XP to Vista, Vista to 7, 7 to 8, and now 8 to 10. And what the hell happened to 9? Now, ranting aside, Windows 10, as I said, is pretty damn nice. The redesigned taskbar is so much better because, well, 1, it's back, and 2, it combines the best features of both Windows 7 and Windows 8. So if 7 and 8 had a baby, basically it would be Windows 10. Cortana is pretty cool, although I've rarely used it, but in theory, it's just like Siri, which is fine with me. And then there's the Action Center, which is very similar to Apple's Notification Center, but that's okay. Company A copies from Company B copies from Company A. That's just how this tech industry is. And I gotta say, Action Center is definitely nice. Actually, Windows 10 overall is very nice. I mean, granted, I haven't used it obsessively because, again, I'm primarily a Mac OS 10 user. But from what I've seen so far, I'm enjoying Windows 10, and it's definitely a great attempt from Microsoft. So Microsoft, continue with this. Keep in mind, your customers just want a traditional desktop experience while using a desktop. But then those tablet using customers want a tablet-like experience on their tablets. It's really not rocket science. If I know this, why doesn't Microsoft know this? But then again, you can't really get anywhere in this industry without taking risks, so I kind of give Microsoft props from that regard. But hey, you know what? Windows 10 is out and it's free for now, so upgrade if you want to. Okay, so I definitely talked about Windows 10 more than I wanted to, but still, Brad, excellent question. Thank you for that. And the next question comes from Jordan Sinclair, and Jordan says, what are your thoughts on console gaming? Are we going to make any more? Now, I've ranted about this in the past, and people called me out. David, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I know everything. You know nothing. No, I have an opinion just like you, and this is my opinion. Console gaming, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't care about this PC gaming master race. The master race, first of all, doesn't exist. Second of all, PC gaming does not define this industry. It's pretty safe to say this, guys. Without console gaming, the gaming industry will not be nearly as successful as it is today. So yes, mark my words, we will have another Xbox in 8 or 9 years. We will have another PlayStation in 8 or 9 years. I mean, hell, even freaking Nintendo is working on their successor already, because the Wii U, while it's a great console, it's kind of a flop. And I'm not saying that to be a hater, because I own a Wii U. It's a great console. I rarely play it, but it's still a great console. I'm just hoping Nintendo learned their lesson, and I just want a traditional console from them. I don't want any gimmicky controls. I don't need to rely on motion controls to have fun. I want a traditional controller, a traditional console, full HD graphics. That's all I want. I want good games. That's all I want. So Jordan, to answer your question, console gaming, it's not going anywhere. Trust me. And I guarantee you there are at least a few people disagreeing with me right now. Sure, maybe we won't have physical games with the next console, but mark my words, again, there will be more video game consoles. So, keep that in mind. Next question comes from Eric Voodoo Child Conover. Holy hell. What do you plan on doing for the Christmas holiday? Keep up those Christmas videos, sorry. They are so fun to watch. Eric Voodoo, my Christmas videos will be here as usual. Trust me, I love the holidays. I love sharing my family's holiday memories with you guys, my fellow viewers and my supporters. So yes, you can look forward to my usual Christmas videos and perhaps something different this year, because I'm always looking to mix things up. Next question comes from Jeremy Harvey. Do you see yourself as a YouTube competitor with other tech vloggers that do similar, note I didn't say the same, videos to yours? What do you believe is different about your tech review / vlogs that makes them unique? Alright Jeremy, my answer to this is me. I'm myself. There is not one other person out there who can claim they're me, because I am my own person, and that other person is their own person. We all have our own approach on things. Sure, I don't have 400,000 subscribers, but you know what? I'm pretty damn proud of surpassing 100,000 subscribers. That is over 100,000 people that took the time to subscribe to me, which is why I don't often compare myself to people like Unbox Therapy, John Rettinger, TLD Today. They make freaking excellent work. Seriously, sometimes I wish I had that kind of skill set, and maybe I will someday if I just put my mind to it. But as of right now, I'm very comfortable with my current video schedule. Monday through Thursday, I do videos like this, my vlogs, tech videos, the occasional review, unboxings of my monthly boxes, and all that good stuff. And then Friday are my patron-only vlogs. So as of today, I like my content. Well, I mean, I would hope I like my content. It's my content. But to answer your question, just be yourself. It's never, ever too late to get started on YouTube. And actually, somebody could start a YouTube channel today, and this time next year, they could have more views than I have. So, keep that in mind. It's never, ever too late to explore your passion. Mike Humphrey, you have the next question. Mike says, do you think Sony will ever make the PlayStation 4 backwards compatible? Well, because it's such a big deal with the Xbox One finally getting Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, yes, I do think it's only a matter of time. Because honestly, I'm just not a huge fan of the idea of streaming classic games over my internet connection. Okay, hold on. The idea is cool, but I would much rather just either put in a physical disc or download a game and somehow match it with a barcode or serial number showing proof that I've previously purchased said game. Okay, so I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, unless Sony somehow takes advantage of the PlayStation camera and you can scan the back of your PlayStation 1 games, PS2 games, and PS3 games. Again, I don't see that happening anytime soon, if ever. But because Microsoft is doing this with the Xbox One and Xbox 360, I can only hope Sony does this with the PS4 and the PS3, as well as hopefully the PS2 and PS1. And maybe even Vita. It wouldn't be such a bad thing having Vita games on the PS4, just as long as you don't need to rely on touchscreen functionality. Next question comes from Sarab Mathur. I apologize, I'm sure I said that wrong. Where do you store your old videos and project files? Do you still have copies of videos from 5 years ago? What's the best way without spending a lot of money to store old projects? This is how I store my old videos. I get rid of my Final Cut 10 projects. Over time, I just delete. But every single video that I export, all those export files go onto my hard drives. For instance, right behind this monitor, yes, right back there, I believe is a 2 terabyte hard drive, yeah. 2 terabyte hard drive from Western Digital. And it's working great. I have all of my videos on there, at least the ones that I've made on this computer. Now, my old Mac Pro, you can't see it, but it's right down here. I have multiple hard drives in there, and I think one of them is like a terabyte, which holds all of my older videos that I made on that 2006 Mac Pro. But eventually, I want to get one super freaking large drive that holds every video that I've ever made. So, long story short, I do not save my actual project files. I only save my final exported files. Because you never know, YouTube could disappear one day, and if a bigger and better video service comes along, then I have those files to upload. Sure, Comcast will probably want to kill me for uploading gigabytes upon gigabytes upon gigabytes of videos, but at least I have them right here, right now. That is an excellent question though, so thank you so much for that. And the next question comes from Charlie White. Charlie says, in your opinion, what is the best thing you have ever done regarding YouTube? Despite having probably hundreds of people rebel against me, my Patreon campaign. I am a prime example of doing something you believe in despite others saying, you're greedy, you're an e-beggar, you're wrong, you're doing this wrong, you suck, David. No. I had a dream of starting a Patreon campaign because, let's face it, advertising revenue is not exactly what it used to be. So I explored other methods, I adapted with the times. That is what life is all about, making changes and adapting to those changes. I started a campaign, and what do you know? It's a hashtag huge success. Patreon has significantly, and yes, I know I tend to overuse words sometimes, but this is not one of those cases. Patreon has significantly changed the way I look at content creation and the ability to do this on a regular basis and call it my job. Having a Patreon campaign not only makes me feel so secure because I don't have to rely on advertising revenue from month to month, but it also allows me to give back to my supporters who are willing to financially support me by providing patrons only vlogs and monthly patrons hangouts, exclusive content. And that's what it's all about. Community. Now, are my patrons better than my non-patrons? No, of course not. Everybody's equal in my eyes. But for those who are willing to financially support me on a monthly basis, please know your support is forever appreciated. You have quite literally changed my life and my outlook on content creation and community support overall. It's really that huge. And thankfully, on a month-to-month basis, my Patreon campaign keeps doing better and better. And guys, honestly, I believe that's mostly due to the fact that I have weekly exclusive vlogs now. Ever since I introduced those vlogs, I saw a huge spike, which is always a good thing. So if you're interested in seeing exclusive vlogs from me on a weekly basis every single Friday, become a patron right below. That link is right there. Click that, make your pledge, and just know I really appreciate it. And I look forward to getting to know you better. Anyway, David, you're rambling. Patreon campaign. That is my answer. So, I hope that helps Charlie White. Next question comes from Harrison Gomelasadoop Dickens. And Harrison says, what console will you be playing Black Ops 3 on in November? My Xbox One. I thought about getting it on PS4 for a quick moment, but I was like, no. No, David. Because I always get the Call of Duty games on the Xbox consoles. It's just how it's always been, and I just prefer that controller for first-person shooters. Now, with that said, I am enjoying Destiny very much on my PS4, and the DualShock 4 might be just as good as the Xbox One's controller from that perspective. But there's something about the Xbox, I don't know, I still prefer that for the Call of Duty games. And obviously Halo, because that's exclusive as of today. And guys, honestly, because I try to balance out my gaming from console to console. Because guys, honestly, it's just sad to say this. My Xbox One hardly gets any attention right now, and neither does my Wii U. Now, does that mean those consoles are bad? No, I just prefer the PS4 right now. But I could easily prefer the Xbox One in October or November when Halo and Black Ops 3 come out. I mean, I might not even play my PS4 for a month or two at a time. That's just how the gaming industry is. Exclusives play a large role in which console I play. And yes, I realize Black Ops 3 is not an exclusive on the Xbox One, but I'm just saying, Halo 5, it's a huge deal. Okay, so normally I would end my AMA video right here, but I have a bonus question today because I normally do 10, but the bonus question today comes from Trev Havel, and Trev says, do you believe small YouTubers, less than 1,000 subscribers, still have a chance to become really popular on YouTube? One tip to small YouTubers trying to become more popular? First of all, yes, everybody has a chance because, and going into the second part of your question, because you have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. And guys, you have to be honest with yourself as well. Some people just are not good on camera, so maybe they're not meant to be creating video content. Maybe you're better on a microphone for podcasting, or maybe you're better at video game streaming. I mean, for instance, I generally think I'm pretty good at doing this, but when it comes to broadcasting video games on Twitch, I'm not that great. I'm just not that great at commentary. I'd rather do this than in front of an actual camera and just talk about technology and my life and whatever else. So my answer is just that. Be yourself. Everybody in this world has a chance. I mean, guys, I don't care if you're 13 years old, 26 years old, 40 years old, 80 years old. You have an opinion. Voice that opinion on a platform. And in this case, that would be YouTube. So guys, there you go. A hugely successful AMA video and probably one of my longest yet. But you know what? That's just a prime example of me being myself. I don't think many people have videos this long on YouTube. And that's what's great about diversity. Doing your own thing despite what others may think. Always be yourself. So thank you guys so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.